Olivia, you ready? Okay, turn on your camera and turn on your mic. Hi, everyone. Thank you all for joining us. We are so excited to partner with the Kern County Library and the Book One Project. This evening, we have 4 of our ShePower leaders who I have the privilege to interview me, and they have written their own questions. So as they ask, it will be the first time that I know what they're going to ask. And as we know, our young leaders can be very honest in what it is that they want to know. I want to tell you a little bit about ShePower Leadership Academy. We are a girls-only leadership academy. We work with girls ages 8 to 18 through diverse leadership opportunities, mentorship, and we also work with personal development. Our secret sauce has really been in the same room with the girls. And as you know, COVID has really kind of changed what our new normal is. So we're working through that. But the 4 leaders here today that are going to interview me are some of our younger leaders. We have Olivia, Caroline, Callie, and Paikia. As you will soon learn, they are phenomenal young ladies that we have had the privilege of mentoring and watch develop into the phenomenal young women that they are. Our future looks very bright with these kinds of leaders. If you want to learn more about ShePower Leadership Academy, please go to our website at shepoweracademy.org. The first one to interview me is Olivia Sky. Olivia is a brilliant young 8-year-old leader who has a true heart for service. She's super creative, very intelligent and articulate, and already at a very young age have a strong idea of who she is and how she's going to leave her impact. Olivia, I'm going to turn this over to you and let you take over.
Hi, my name is Olivia, and I am a ShePower leader. Today I'm going to interview our ShePower ambassador, Arlena Waller, about her journey as a leader in our Small Talk Big Leader series, along with Paikia, Caroline, and Callie. When did you start being a businesswoman?
Great question, Olivia. I think I started being a businesswoman as young as you. My dad was an entrepreneur, so I learned early how to be a businesswoman. I helped at a very young age to run his business. And so that's exactly when I started my business leadership. And I knew early that that's what I wanted to do.
When did you actually come up with ShePower Leadership Academy, and why?
I came up with ShePower around 2016. I used to have a company called Rich Girl Entertainment, and that meant having all the things in life that money couldn't buy. And so I was praying for the next step, and God gave that to me, ShePower, because every woman should own her ShePower without apology. And so that's the reason why I came up with it. And that's when I came up with it, because I want women and girls all over the world to be authentically who they are, just like you, and be very bold in who they are.
If you were to plan a perfect ShePower field trip, where would it be at?
Well, I think I would take a group of girl leaders to the White House, and we would do a tour on both sides of the aisles so that we can understand what leadership is, what leadership take, and how we can be impactful in the world that we live in. That would be my ideal trip, Olivia.
What are you going to make a new book soon? What will it be about?
Well, I am currently a 6-time author, mostly workbooks. But if I was to write a new book, and I have 2 books in the making, so I think the next one would be 369 questions to ask to impact your leadership, because it's so important to ask the right questions. in order to get the answers that can impact our lives. I think that's going to be the next book I release.
Are you planning to launch more ShePower Academies to help more girls to become a leader like me and others?
Wow. Olivia, that is my heart's desire. We recently did a collaboration with an organization in Atlanta, and we did a collaboration with an organization in India. My heart's desire is to open She Power Leadership Academies all over the world, so no matter where girls go to school, they'll always have a She Power sister to connect with. So yes, that is my ultimate goal that I hope will happen one day.
Are you going to run for a place in the White House?
Um, I don't know, Olivia. What I do know is that I am trusting that God will direct my path. I'm enjoying the work that I'm able to do with young girls like you and impact their lives. We do know that politics is important in our lives. So, to answer that question honestly, I do not know at this time.
Do you think Joe and Kamala are making good history as leaders?
Well, no matter what you believe, no one's policies are going to be 100%. But I think with Kamala being the first woman as vice president of the United States, she has shattered glass ceilings so that little girls all over the world can understand anything is possible. So just that alone, she's making history. She is the first woman of color, Black, Asian, and Indian descent. So she's making history in that way. And Joe is the first Catholic to be president of the United States. So yes, they are making history. I do hope, Olivia, that they will make good history where we can make our lives better as women.
Do you plan on making a ShePower movie?
Oh wow, that would be really awesome. That would be really awesome. If we make a movie, will you be in it?
I'll sure be there.
Okay, well then let's make it a date one day. Let's hope that happens. Thank you, Olivia. Is that all of your questions?
Yes,
I
now
appreciate you interviewing me.
and thank you for your time.
You're very welcome. How awesome is that? Olivia is just really a bright leader who has such a heart of service, and I really enjoyed that interview, and I thank her for those great questions. Next, we're going to bring, is Caroline in with us? If Caroline can open up her camera
Hello.
and unmute herself. Olivia, go ahead and mute yourself, babe. Is Caroline with us?
Yes.
Hey, Caroline, how are you?
Hi.
Hi, so good to see you.
Can
So
I get?
Caroline is a really bright leader, just very bold in what she do and who she is. She was recently Queen of Bakersfield. Just really
Yeah.
got a heart of service, serves very well in our community. And I enjoy seeing her in the academy because she's definitely a bright light with lots of opinions. Caroline, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Coraline, and I am excited to interview the ShePower owner, Elena. My first, I'm going to start my interview with question number one. What is your favorite color and why?
My absolute favorite color is pink because that's my power color. Anytime I have something important to do around business, I put on pink and it makes me feel really powerful.
Thank you. That was a good question. Um, question number question number two. Why did you start ShePower?
Well, I started ShePower because as a young girl, I was very nerdy, very shy, and I got teased a lot for being nerdy, shy, and smart. So if I had something like ShePower at my age to really let me know that being a nerd and being quiet was pretty cool. I think I could have really avoided a lot of heartache. And so I really wanted to have this opportunity for girls like me. I think it's important to create what we need. And this is something I needed as a little girl. And that's why I created it.
Okay, great question. Third question is, what's your favorite food?
Hmm, that's a good one. Probably my ultimate favorite food is French fries. I love French fries.
Fourth question is, where is your favorite place to eat?
Ooh, that's another really good question.
Yeah.
I love a really good ribeye. So probably my favorite place to eat is the Palm. I like to go there when I'm in Las Vegas or when I'm in Los Angeles,
Hmm.
and they have this amazing lobster bisque soup. That's probably my favorite place to go eat.
Good question. Fifth question, what's your favorite animal and why?
Caroline, I know this is not going to be a very popular answer, but I'm not an animal girl. I
Oh,
when I was a little girl, I got bit by a dog, and it
uh-huh.
kind of scared me. And so I tend to not go close to animals. And I know that's horrible, but I'm being honest with you, right?
It's okay, because I, I like pigs and cheetahs, though.
Oh, cheetahs are cute to look at. But
Yeah,
you made me think. I like to look at frogs. I don't know what it is about frogs. I like to look at them.
my mom loves frogs, too, when she was a
Tell
little
your
girl.
mom. Oh,
When
that's
she
so awesome.
when she was a little girl, she used to put them in her pocket.
Well, she's bolder than I am. I just like to look at the figurine ones.
Sixth question, what is your favorite place in the world?
Hmm. My favorite place in the world. I really love to go to Bahamas. That's probably my favorite place in the world. It's warm, it's beautiful. Yeah, that's definitely my favorite place in the world.
Thank you. Eighth question, what is your biggest fear?
Ooh, that's a really hard question. Because it depends on some the days of the week, right? Our fears can be different, kind of depending on what situation we're in.
Yeah.
As it relates to the girls, probably my biggest fear is not being there when they need me. That's probably one of my biggest fears. And you have to be really consistent to be a leader. And so
Hmm.
that's what I fear sometimes.
Yeah, me too. I was you. If ninth question, the last question, if you were given $1 million, what would you do with it?
Woo, that's a really good question, Caroline. If I was given $1 million, I
Yes.
would probably take $500,000 and find families who need help and support and provide a way that they can be able to thrive. I would probably take the other $500,000 and build as a ShePower Leadership Academy school where girls can go to school every single day together. That's probably what I would do with my $1 million.
Oh, that great question. Thank you.
You're welcome. Is that all of your questions?
Yes.
Thank you, Caroline. I appreciate you interviewing me. It has been an honor having a conversation with you.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. The next person that we're going to, as Caroline's going to close her camera and her mic, is Callie. Is Callie in the room? She would be the next person that will be able to come on and interview me. Are you there, Callie? I love how the moms are trying not to be seen in the Zoom. It's okay, Mom. Callie. Hi, Callie. I can barely hear you, honey. We're probably going to have to turn your volume up.
Hi, my name is Callie. I'm going to be asking Arlena some questions.
Well, thank you, Callie.
Do you think the world will be better or worse when I grow up?
Ooh, that is a really good question. I think the world is going to be better. And here's why, Callie, I think the world is going to be better. Because it is leaders like you and the other girls in the academy who are relentless for making wrongs right, who are bold in your leadership, and you're not going to accept the status quo. You're going to push through. And so I'm confident in the leaders that we have coming up. You're going to make the world better.
What do you want for young girls like me?
What I want for young girls like you is I want you to live in a world where you're safe, where you're happy, where you're able to be authentically whoever you are without judgment. That's the starting point of what I would want for a world for girls like you.
What would you say to your 7 years
Hold
old?
on, I could barely hear you, Callie.
What would you say to your 7 years old self?
Hold on. Hey, Tiara, I can barely hear her. You're probably going to have to adjust the mic. Sorry about that, Callie. I didn't hear the last question.
Can you hear her now? Can you hear me now?
Barely.
Can you hear me now?
Much better, Callie.
What would you say to your 7 years old self?
Wow, your questions are amazing. What would I say to my 7-year-old self? I would say to my 7-year-old self, it's okay to be a nerd. It's okay to be a straight A student. And it's okay that people tease you because you're doing that, and don't be ashamed of it. That's what I would tell my 7-year-old self, because I got teased a lot as a little girl.
How many books do you read a month?
I go between 2 to 3 books a month. I like to read wellness books. I like to read leadership books, and I like to read spiritual books. So I kind of go between 2 to 3 books a month. So that's probably where I kind of end up.
How did you know you wanted to help people?
How did I know I wanted to help people? My mom was a missionary and my dad was a deacon. So I was raised in the church, and we was raised helping people. So it's at the core of who I am. And so I kind of think even if I didn't want to help people, just my purpose in life is to help people. So I think I knew it as a little girl. I used to be one of my mom's prayer ambassadors, and my job was to help her go pick all the ladies up for prayer at 5 in the morning. So I started early helping and serving people, and I really, really love it.
What's a time that you wanted to help someone but you couldn't?
What was the time I wanted to help someone and I couldn't? Oh, Callie, that happens a lot because I want to help so many people. And it makes me really sad when I can't. And so that's why I push as hard as I do, because so many people right now need help. And If I was super duper rich, I would write checks and pay everyone's bills. I would give everyone food. I would, pay their medical bills. I really enjoy helping people. And when I can't, it's sad. And that happens a lot, unfortunately.
How many chances do you give people who mess up?
Kelly, you coming with it today. Um, yeah, that I struggle with that. I will give people as many chances as they need, but where I struggle and I will cut someone off and not give them chances if they show that they are disloyal. I think loyalty is critically important in friendships and in partnerships. And so if you show me you're not loyal, then I'll cut you off. But if you're loyal and you mess up, then I'll give you as many chances as you are needed, because we all make mistakes and none of us are perfect. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, baby.
What is easier for you to love, to be patient, or to forgive?
Lord have mercy. This baby is coming in with the question. By the way, she has her own YouTube channel as well. So to be patient, to love, and what was the other one? To forgive. Mm. It's easier for me to love. It's definitely easier for me to love, because I like to look in people's tender spaces and understand why they are that way. And a lot of times when people are very challenging and difficult to love is when we need to love them the most. So it's definitely easier for me to love.
How can I help little girls to know they are beautiful?
Can you repeat that question?
How can I help little girls to know they are beautiful?
Well, first and foremost, Callie, you are beautiful. And I have had the privilege of watching you grow as a leader over the last couple years. And I think you're doing exactly what you should do. When a girl needs a positive word, you give it to her. When someone at school needs a friend, you're their friend. Those are ways that you let people know they're beautiful by being there for them. And that's something that you do very well.
That's all.
Thank you, Callie. That was an awesome interview. Callie is one of our younger leaders. She has grown phenomenally. We consider ourselves twins because we both like sparkle. And she also has a YouTube channel where she does interviews, and I'm extremely proud of Callie. You have grown into such a phenomenal leader. Thank you for this interview. I appreciate it. Thank you, Callie. And as Callie turned her camera and mic off, we're going to bring Pikea on for our very last interview. And Pikea is one of our leaders who is just really a phenomenal young lady. She has a true heart of service. She's already serving on a board where she raises money every year and fill about 50 backpacks with supplies for children in need. And she do this through her own efforts of raising money, and she gets the support of her mom and dad to help her. Even in the academy, she's definitely one of the ambassadors when new girls come. Olivia, go ahead and mute yourself. When new girls come, Pikea is the first one to make sure they feel comfortable. Where are you at, Pikea?
I'm right here.
Okay, I can't. Oh, there you go. So I'm very excited to have this interview from you. I'm going to hand it over to you and let you take over from here.
Hi, my name is Pike Yakoda, and I'm going to be interviewing Arlena Waller in this series. And I'm going to be asking her 12 questions and ask her about how much that she's given into the community and how much she's helped us. So I'm going to ask her, Arlena, when did you start serving?
I'm at a very young age. I started serving probably as early as 4 years old. Um, my family used to feed the homeless every week, similar to what I do every week. And so I would go out with my parents and help. So I started serving pretty young, like just like you.
Okay. The second question is, how old is ShePower?
ShePower started in 2016, so we're about a 4 year old organization as it relates to girls. But I've been working with women for about 30 years and probably with girls for about six. And so it's a still young organization, but it has been so transformational with young girls at such a young age.
Great answer. When did
Thank
you
you.
start? When did you start out as a leader and why?
Well, I probably started as a leader at a very young age, right? Being an honor roll student in school, getting straight A's, being an example. But I didn't really identify myself as a leader, just someone who did what I was supposed to do. And just really recently, over the last maybe, you know, 8 to 10 years, when people started calling me a leader, and I didn't see it necessarily as a leader, I just saw it as someone who was working and helping. And so those people will label you, and that was a label that I actually attached to. I don't attach to every label. I've been leading for 30 years, but really truly accepting that role as a leader for the last 10.
Thank you. And who is your role model?
Wow. Probably my mom and dad. They were an example of what true leadership is, humble, serving, impactful, and transformational, and transforming people's lives. So they would both really be my example.
I agree with that one. My parents are my role models too.
You have pretty rock star parents.
Mhm. How did you get to where you are today?
Really through just surrounding myself with amazing people, people with a servant heart that matches mine, people who want to see me win, see me thrive. So just surrounding yourself with really good people, people that you don't have to hide your vision from because they'll tear it down. That's how I've been able to move along, just having good, solid people to work with me, to help me, to push me, to lead me.
And who is your biggest supporter?
Ooh, that is a great question. Um, I'm really blessed to have so many people support me. I mean, I'm grateful in that way. And it depends on the season, who support me. Sometimes it's Doc, sometimes it's Kadar, sometimes it's Bentley, Aura, Diane. It changes in the season. And as it relates to She Power, your mom, Jamie Lynn, is a super supporter. Tiara, Allison, Kate, Caitlin. I have so many people that support me. And so when you ask who's my biggest supporter, I'm blessed to have a lot. So, yeah, a lot of people.
I count as a supporter too because I will support you no matter what as long as it's ShePower.
I love you, and you're always supporting of me. And when I tell you, you sent those videos when I was sick and I missed She Power. I still look at those videos. They still make me smile. You are a true supporter of me, and I thank you for that, Ikea.
Of course. And who helps you the most for like events and when you need to prepare for something?
uh, Again, I depend on a lot of people. I depend on a lot of people to help me. And probably the one who gets the butt of it all right now is Aura, because she's closer in my space. And so she takes a lot of my ideas and get help. I call Jamie Lynn on a crunch. Hey, I need your help. I'll call Tiara in a crunch. I need your help. So I'm really blessed. Again, to have a lot of people to help me when we're planning events, when we're coming up with ideas. That's important as a leader. And I'll tell you something, it's not so important to have followers to build additional leaders. And that's what we try and do. And so when I'm in need, I can call other strong women and they come and support me because they're strong, independent of me. So that's important. And that's the same way we hope that we would build young girls to be the same way. So you can support each other when you need each other.
Okay, thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
how did you come up with the name and the logo of ShePower?
Well, you can see the logo in the back. I love the logo and I put a lot of thought into it. Pink to me is a power color for women because it's a color that we love, a lot of women love. People tend to say, oh, we're going to put our red, which is our power color. But to me, I love the feminine energy that women have, and I wanted to empower that. And so that's where the pink came in. The logo, as you see, the she is a very soft script, and the power is a very bold script. And so I think I wanted to, and in that circle is because women are typically very soft. So as someone who do marketing and design logos, I really put a lot of thought into our logo. And so the she is for the feminine, the power is for the boldness, and the circle for the femininity of woman. So this particular logo represents everything that a woman is.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
what made you want to help young girls like myself and everyone else at ShePower?
That's a very good question. And I have never really publicly answered that question, super honest. Um, I come from a family of 10 girls and 3 boys. And so I've always had a best friend, right? And an enemy. With sisters, you love and you fight. And so I've always had that. And I've always had an affinity for helping women to kind of empower them. And I had a situation that broke me working with women. And so I stepped back and I says, let me look at this thing. And during that time, um, Adonica Stanley had asked me to come and speak at her school to talk to some of her young students. It was all women, all girls, I mean, and I was nervous because I had never ever spoke to an audience of all young girls before. And I was researching, I'm like, I'm old, they're not going to connect with me. This is going to be crazy. I was so nervous. And I walked in there and I gave my talk and they had to cut me off because the girls were so engaged and they was asking so many questions. And it was the most phenomenal experience I've ever had as a speaker. I got in the car and I screamed because it felt like I won the Oscars because it was at that moment that I realized that I really had the ability to transform young girls and I had ability to connect with young girls. And so I kept that in my spirit, but I was still nervous because, y'all truthful. I can come in there with no lashes. Y'all be like, why you don't got no makeup on? Or, y'all tell the truth. And so I was very uncomfortable in that truth because as women, we keep it nice. As young girls, you guys are very honest. And so I kept that in my head. And then I lost my niece. And she was someone that was very important to me, someone that I loved very, very much. And the way that I lost her um, was very challenging for me. And it took me about a year to really get myself together after that loss. And that's when I realized that I needed to reach girls younger so that they don't go through what she went through. And that's when we fully launched She Power Leadership Academy. It was in honor of her, but it was, I'm so, I'm,
It's okay, Arlena. We all have those special people that really meant something to us, and we're always going to love and miss them, but they're always with us.
yeah. And so that was my strength to go through and do it. Our first session, we had 9 girls and we continued doing it and continued growing. And we got up to like about 60 girls. And so we're looking forward to growing and helping more girls. But that was kind of the epitome of when I said, this is something that I have to do. And it's been one of the best experience of my life. Our Mondays when we come together is the best day of the week for me. I appreciate the hugs, the love, and watching you all grow. So this has been one of the best experiences of all the things that I've done. So yeah, there's my answer. Sorry, I'm crying on
Oh no, you're fine, Arlena. Don't worry. We all cry a lot.
you.
And the last question I have is, what's your favorite part of being a leader in our community?
Wow, another great question, Pakia. I have enjoyed your questions. My favorite part is um, being able to be trusted, to be the voice for others. Um, that's a part that I take very serious, and it's also a part that I'm very grateful for at the same time. Um, and being honest in my leadership on impacting and changing those that I'm trusted to speak on behalf of. And as it relates to ShePower, to see the transformation in you young girls and to be able to watch you with so much godly pride step into the woman you are, even through the challenges of growing up as a girl and being able to talk you through those moments. Um, those are some of the things that I probably really value and appreciate. And I don't take the title of being a leader lightly. I take it very seriously because as a leader, you can build someone or you can tear someone down. And so I always try and build.
Thank you for giving me the privilege to interview you, and be safe. I love you, Arlena.
I love you too, Pakia. Thank you so much. Well, what a great time that has been. I have completely enjoyed being interviewed by the She Power leaders. As you see, these young leaders are phenomenal. The growth, the transformation, and the boldness in which they're leading their lives is something that we get to experience. And we're looking forward to doing more. Our hopes in 2021 is to partner with more organizations and corporations to give our leaders more opportunities to really launch their leadership. This is what this series with the Kern County Library and the Book One Project is about, women launching their leadership. And as you see, these four leaders, and there's many like them, are launching their leadership boldly at such a young age, whether they have a YouTube channel or whether they're making jewelry. This is a piece of jewelry that Olivia made for me, or whether they're, being queen and serving our community, or whether they have their own nonprofit and raising money to help children in need. This is what our future looks like. And She Power is honored to be a part of it. I hope that you would join us in 2021. And ladies, the other girls, if you want to turn your camera on, you can. You can go to our website at www.shepoweracademy.com. .org. I want to thank Lynn for this opportunity. She has been phenomenal, just a rock star, and Jasmine, just a rock star at the Kern County Library. It is these kind of opportunities when we come together as a community that we can impact young girls' lives. I hope that you have enjoyed the series of interviews from our leaders, and this will end our Big Leaders Small Talk series with the Kern County Library and the Book One Project. Thank you all so much. And I'll stay on if you have any questions. Feel free to ask me. I'm going to turn the recording off, but I am here to answer any questions. Just you could turn your camera off and turn your camera on and unmute yourself.
I have a question.